All right, so this is the first Modern Masters draft, and I apologize the camera wasn't recording at the start, but my picks so far are two Handweir Lancers. It's the 3-mana 2/2 Soul Bond. Whenever they're paired, they have first strike, and a Foil Goblin Assault. 3-mana enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a 1/1 Goblin creature token that has haste, and then Goblin creatures have to attack every turn. So that's where I'm at so far. 3 red picks. And moving into this pack here, you can see I'm choosing between Magcap skills, I believe, Mortician Beetle, and a Wing Splicer. Ended up going with the 4-mana Wing Splicer creature, 1/1. When it enters, it makes a 3/3 Golem creature, and then Golems have flying, so that ended up being the pick here. Wasn't too happy with how my pool turned out for this first draft, but we did end up going 3-1 and winning 3 Modern Masters packs, so we can't really be too upset with that. It wasn't awful, but I wasn't really excited and I wasn't really happy with my pool. But I will take 3-1, so I was okay with my standings. How was your guys' first experiences? If you got to draft Modern Masters, do you guys like it? What did you think? I mean, I like the format. It's a bit too expensive, and I wish I had better pulls or were in better colors that I felt more comfortable in. So I don't know. I was really excited, and I know you can't go into a draft, with your mindset on what colors you're going to draft. You kind of just have to go with what's being passed, and white seemed pretty open, so I just kept getting past decent white cards. So I stayed into a base white, and it was kind of like with a red, green, bluish kind of feel going on. So I don't know, and I don't know if this pick was right, but I ended up taking Gore Clan Rampager here. Not entirely sure if that was the right pick. Probably not, but at the time it felt right. I kind of wanted to stay in the red, and if anything, go into red-green, because that's what I like playing. That's where I like being comfortable playing. Not sure what the pick was here. You see, there's not really a lot going on in this pack. I mean, maybe... I'm not sure how we feel about Explorer and Draft. The white guy, the Blade Splicer thingy that makes a golem was in this pack. I think I ended up just going with Burning Tree here, which, again, probably wasn't the right pick, but is what it is. Again, trying to go with that mindset that I'm probably going to be in green-red, so want to stay with the cards that I'm, comfortable with, that I know how they work, how they play, and starting to notice these packs, red might be getting eaten up. Not really seeing a lot in red, so it might not be in my best interest to try and fight over it. Not sure what I took here. I think I ended up taking Momentary Blink, which probably wasn't right. Or did I take the Knight? The little 2-mana Knight with first strike. I forget his name. Youthful Knight is the card there on the top. And Coiling Oracle. Ended up taking the Youthful Knight there. Yeah, 2-mana, 2/1 first strike doesn't seem bad. Ended up winning one of my games with all first strike guys. It was just it was just too strong. All my creatures having first strike. What is the pick here? I think that's the Soul Bond guy, where they're Soul Bonded. You get to draw. Coiling Oracle again. I know that the Bant Shell is really strong in this format, so I was kind of, going on the flickering of the Enter the Battle triggers. Trying to find I apologize, I'm so bad with the names of the cards. So I ended up with the Momentary Blink there. Not quite sure how I felt about that pick. Again, I wasn't too happy with the way this pool went. This little core guy, when he enters, you gain 4 life. Ended up being the pick there. I forget his name. Lone Missionary. Yeah, 2/1, 2 mana. When he enters, you gain 4 life. Debating between the bird. What does the bird do? Ended up taking the bird, so I felt that it was strong, and I'm trying to find Mist Raven, 4 mana, 2/2 flying. When it enters the battlefield, return target creature to its owner's hand. So again, I'm kind of on that flicker ETB effect. Not really feeling all that great with the cards coming. Ended up just going with the Soul Warden there, the 1 mana 1/1. Whenever another creature enters, you gain a life. Not that great of a card. Sensor Splicer, I think, was the pick there. Yeah, that's that multicolor blue-white. Multi-mana, whatever they were, the split mana. Where it would flicker a dude. Mist Meadow Witch, 2 mana 1/1, 4 mana white blue. Exile target creature, then return it back to the battlefield. So again, not too happy with the way the pool is going, but I don't know. I would be excited to do Modern Masters again and hopefully draft it a little differently. I'm not entirely sure if what was going on with the table, if people really knew what was going on. Phantasmal Image was the rare there. Didn't end up taking it, though. Not quite sure if it was what was going on with the card quality at the table, or maybe not sure what was going on with certain colors. Ended up taking the Master Splicer here. 4 mana 1/1. When it enters the battlefield, you get a 3/3 golem, and golem creatures get +1/+1, so ended up being the take there. Over Phantasmal Image, which, I don't know, maybe it was right, maybe it was wrong. You never really know in draft, you know, it's like, maybe that was the right thing to do, maybe it wasn't, who knows. Stoic Angel, the pick here. Again, not sure if I'll be in Advanced or Naya. All I know is it's a base white. Kind of all over the place here. Not exactly sure what's going on. Intangible Virtue. Just a very strong card, especially if I'm going to be flickering those Create a Golem cards. The creature tokens get +1 and +1 in Vigilance. Very solid. Very solid card on 2 mana enchantment. I apologize if you just heard that. My cats are going crazy as I'm doing the audio for this, and I wasn't exactly excited to really do this Modern Masters video. I mean, I don't know. I just wasn't. I felt pressured. I felt rushed, and I just felt like the cards weren't. My choices weren't outstanding, but I don't know, and I also feel like I'm doing a lot of complaining. I apologize. A pick here was Unflinching Courage. Outstanding card, 3 mana, green-white, enchant creature, it gets +2/+2 and trample and lifelink. Card is very, very good, especially in a draft setting. That's the Graceful Reprieve, 2 mana instant. If a creature dies this turn, return it to the battlefield. Unfortunately, it doesn't work with tokens, but I feel like it's an okay card. Ooh, a foil Sensor Splicer. I think that might have been the pick here in this pack. I mean, I agree with what everyone's saying. The foiling in this pack, I mean, Wizards did do spot on. The foils all just, doesn't matter what it is, it looks amazing. Ended up going with that guy there. Is better than the voice token. Wayfaring Temple. Yeah, that's his name. 3 mana, star. Its power toughness is equal to the number of creatures you control. But here's what makes it better than the voice token is whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you get to populate. So that thing is just out of control and say no good. And another Blade Splicer. Alright, so not too much craziness going on in this pack. I ended up going with the Slime Molding. Just felt like that was a good card. A token generator, 1 mana X, create an XX Ooze token. So felt like that was a solid pickup. Not quite sure how good or bad it is in draft. A few different options going on in this pack though. And I did end up going with a second copy of the Lone Missionary, 2 mana, 2/1, gain the 4 life guy. So went with another copy of Youthful Knight, 2 mana, 2/1 first strike. Again, the base solid white. I felt very, very solid with my white picks. Except for how many sensor splicers I ended up picking. I mean, maybe it was better I was taking them away from other people, but at 5 mana, it doesn't seem like it's that great of a card. 5 mana, 1/1, when it enters, you get a 3/3 golem, and then they have vigilance, so not entirely sure how I do feel about that card. I ended up going with Eyes in the Skies there, 4 mana instant, create a 1/1 bird token with flying, and then you get to populate, so it's a very solid instant. Very good card to pick up. Alright, now moving on to the last pack. Again, my first 2 rares were nothing exciting. This pack was pretty hard because it was a mythic, but it wasn't a good mythic, Past in Flames, so it's like, what do I do with this? Not very good in draft. Not really worth anything in the money department. So it was kind of like an awkward choice, pack 3. I think I did end up going with the Flicker Wisp there. 3 mana, 3/1 flying. When it enters the battlefield, you get to flicker another permanent, but it comes back at the end step, so that came up quite a lot in a few different games. The fact that it came back at the end of the turn or the next end step kind of made it bad, but I mean it's Flicker Wisp, so you still get a 3/1 flyer that they kind of have to answer, but there are a lot of 1/1 bird tokens and a lot of ways to make 1/1 flyers in this set, so felt like Flicker Wisp could easily be dealt with. Pick here was the Primal Command, which I wasn't excited about and probably shouldn't have picked because I didn't end up playing it. It's just not that great of a card. I think you gain the 7 life, you get to return a creature. I can't remember what it does. It's just, don't worry about it, it's not good. Didn't make it in the deck. Especially at 5 mana. The foiling, though, looks really, really good. Looking at the foil attended knight there. And I apologize for the horrible glare and the bad quality of the camera. I really do apologize. Got to work with what I got. We were kind of in the back part of the gaming room where because there was a lot of people. There was 30 plus people, which was a lot for our normal nights of Friday Night Draft, and the lighting wasn't optimal. Now I did get past really late a Hellrider here, and I was extremely okay with that, and definitely Snap took that because even if I wasn't going to find a way to fit it in, I didn't want to fight against a Hellrider, so I was very okay taking Hellrider here. Not quite sure how it made it this far. And I ended up taking the Call, I think it's Call of the Herd. It just makes a 3/3 elephant token, and then it has flashback. You make another 3/3 elephant token. Ended up being the pick there. That card is absolutely insane. That I just went by there. Gideon's Lawkeeper. Card is so good. 1 mana, 1/1 white. Tap it, tap target creature. Believe it ended up being the pick here, and I wish I would have gotten more. The card is just, it's absolutely ridiculous in draft. If they don't have a way to answer it, the card keeps you in the game for so long. Just absolutely insane. Any sort of threat that they try and come at you with, you just tap it down. Tap it down to make sure that your threats get in. It's just very versatile. Very, very happy with that card. Really wish I would have picked up more. Ended up going with I believe the Core Hookmaster here. Yeah, 3 mana, 2/2. When it enters, you tap target creature they control, and it doesn't untap. Very solid card, especially if you get to flicker it a few times. Ended up going with the Wall here. Feel like that card's great. Didn't really get to play with it that much. Wall of Denial, 3 mana, white blue, Defender Flying Shroud, 0/8. So they kind of really can't get through that, but it's, you know, it's a dirtily card. It doesn't really win you the game. Kind of just more so prevents you from losing the game in certain situations. Doesn't feel that great when you're playing Wall of Denial. Alright, not too much going on in this next pack here. Just ended up taking the Foil Attended Knight. Didn't really feel like anything else was that great. 3 mana, 2/2 first strike. When it enters, you get a 1/1 white soldier creature token. So, not too upset picking that up. I ended up going with another Core Hookmaster. This time it was foil. 3 mana, 2/2. Again, it taps it. They don't untap target creature during their next untap step. Apologize for the cards being cut off here. And the absolutely awful glare. I believe I went with the Owl here. Yeah, Talon Trooper. 3 mana, 2/3 flying, blue-white. Not a horrible card, not a great card. Ended up going with Explore, didn't end up playing it. Maybe that was wrong. Not sure how that card is in draft. 2 mana. You can play an additional land this turn, draw a card. Not too sure how you feel about that card in draft. Ended up with another Soul Warden. Just go with the card that's in my colors. Eyes in the Skies there was the pick. Pitfall Trap. 3 mana, destroy target attacking creature without flying. I think that was the only bit of removal. And also, if exactly one creature is attacking, you can just play one right rather than paying its entire mana cost. So, that was it. That was my first Modern Masters draft. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead and subscribe and stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching.